Yo, welcome back everyone for another YouTube video with your host Kenkukun, and today we got another Destiny 2 raid guide video for the Root of Nightmares. We are at the final encounter with the boss. We're going to have timestamps in the description below. That's going to tell you, this is going to be, I'm going to show you in the video, we're going to show you the boss role, we're going to show you the runner role. I'm not going to show the ad clear role once again, but the ad clears, I have an ad clear person on the left side of the map. I have an ad clear person on the right side of the map killing ads. Um, Disclaimer, I have two boss runners right here. Once again, I am teaching 3 people at a time in this raid. So I have 2 boss runners on this team, right? Now, what the boss runner is going to do, and we're going to show that off first. The boss runners are going to keep the boss's attention, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I do it with a sniper and an SMG. That's a lightweight frame, so I am using the funnel web. DPS for the boss, Thunderlord, Thunder Crash. So, at the start of the encounter, if you've started the boss encounter and he's still in his crystal form, you will just run up there. Everyone will get in positions. But once we do that, the runners are going to start the encounter. So the runners started the encounter and they started running. And I will show the running, which we've seen in my other raid guide videos, which I explain in the first video. There should be a link, maybe not in the description, but you should be able to click at the end of the video, one of the boxes that will go back to the first video and the playlist for this, which are 4 videos total, none of them longer than 20 minutes. This is probably going to be the one that's going to be the longest, broaching on about 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to give you some tips and advice real quick for this. I am on Thunder Crash. I am on my Titan. You can use Titan, you can use Warlock, and you can use Hunter. One of the things I like to do is, I think on my Titan, I was doing it when the enemies spawn in. There's nothing I can do to the boss right now. So the enemies are going to spawn a Colossus in the middle, left and right. I throw a Storm Nade there, and I go about my day. Now, the boss is already prepped and ready. We're going to look at him. If you can see, his shoulders are glowing to the right and left. He is a tormentor. He's just a big tormentor. His shoulders are glowing. You want to break each shoulder plate. Upon breaking the shoulder plate, under normal circumstances, the boss will emit a glow. It'll be light or dark. That call out is important for your runners, and we'll show that at the end or towards the second half of this video, wherever that's going to end up being. So I shoot the plate to the left, I shoot the plate to the right, boom. It is gold, that is dark. So I just say, it's dark. Like, it's just like, well, if you come play the raid with me on Twitch, link in the description below, you're literally gonna hear me say dark. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, bro, you're just gonna be like, what the hell is that? What does that mean? What do you mean dark? What's dark? All right, that's for the runners to know, right? So the call out is just light or dark. You can add in more words to be more specific. Hey, the aura is light, or the boss aura is dark. Whatever you want to do it, but it's tied to the raid wipe mechanic, right? So you call out that to the runners, and then I shot his chest early. Usually his chest will glow, and he will start to raise his arm up, and he's gonna start, when he raises his arm up and his chest, glows, he's going to start bouncing people into the air at random, 2 to 3 people at a time. If it's you and you're on the boss duty, or if it's both of boss duty people, I have no clue. If it, I assume it's just random totally. You're both going to have a hard time hitting the shot to get him. I usually just start with a sniper. After that, I'm going to switch to my primary. So I shoot early, and I get lucky enough to hit it before the animation fully forms. The Colossus is still up. I kill him. I stand in the middle of the lane. Now, I found it very easy to stand in the middle of the lane. If you're the person that gets the gaze first, go into the middle lane and just kill a couple ads and wait for him to get close, right? And he's going to jump into the air. This is where I believe, well, I crouch and stand under him. Now, I've had him drop directly on me and kill me. But essentially what I want him to do is come into a straight line to my teammate that's behind me or behind to the side of me, so they can shoot his chest and get the hatred gaze. Now, in the beginning, before anyone gets his hatred gaze, kind of like Golgoroth, right? Unlike Golgoroth, Nezarec hates everyone at the same time, but everyone doesn't have a timer. The only people that get the hatred timer debuff or buff is the ones that shoot him in the chest. So I would recommend to raid teams to not have confusion. If you're not on the boss or doing the boss's job of keeping his attention, don't say I have hatred, right? The runners, the runners and ad clears don't say I have hatred, because then you're gonna you might confuse the people on the boss. Well, I thought you had hatred. Well, someone said they had hatred. It wasn't me. It was me. It's If it's not the timer, don't call it out. If you're getting bounced around on the map, just let it happen. Just ride the ride, right? Just let it be, because you don't want to confuse the people learning the boss mechanics, right? Or anyone else on the team. So my teammate has it. I'm going to grab the buff here in a moment. I'm going to spam the chest. Boom. Nezarec's hatred. You get about 10 seconds. And I find it better to come to the right side of the map and just dance around this plate with him. You don't have to kill ads. But here we go. We dance around that plate for just a second. We came to the safety plate. Now I'll explain the safety plate as a runner, and hopefully I will be showing you the safety plate as a runner. I really hope I'm the one that makes the safety plate first. That way I don't have to cut the video and move around the video. Now, the safety plate is essentially you get a buff of protection, which you got when you ran through after you did the first encounter, the second encounter. After you did the second encounter and you went towards the third planet, it's kind of like that area where you're hitting the light source, grabbing the dark buff, and then you're protected from the wipe mechanic that just spreads out as you're running through the quote-unquote jumping puzzle, right? So I come back to the middle real quick. I actually come kill this guy. I shouldn't be this close, because the closer you are to the boss, the more likely he's going to try and kill you, right? I always recommend people don't go up by that boss at all. I shoot him in the plate. I get his hatred. I go back to the middle of the map. I hold my ground. I'm really weak, so I punch a guy to get my health. And then he's going to jump up. I go under him this time and go to the other side. My teammate has swapped the hatred to him, and he's ran to the left side of the room. Now, again, I would recommend just going to the right, because that plate is nice and crispy for protecting people, but we now have DPS, so the runners have done their job. This is the plate we've chosen for DPS. There may be better plates, but this one, it's not so close to the ledge that it'll kill us, and it's not so far off that the boss has to go anywhere far for us to deal DPS. Now, you just deal DPS. A Thunderlord. I've had people told me, Thunderlord, you can one-phase him. My team doesn't one-phase him. It just is what it is. But you can two-phase him. You just shoot him till he's immune. Once he's immune, everyone just resets. Between DPS phases, I highly recommend do not run under the boss's little platform for ammo or anything, because if you're low light coming into the raid, or you're weak, or you're not paying attention, he's gonna try and hit you with a ranged attack and kill you. Now we're gonna show this. We're gonna show the boss off one more time, just to be safe. Once again, you can have one boss runner. You can have one person hold the boss's attention, one person clear ads in the middle, if you so desire. You can have one of the runs I had my other teammate. I'm like, hey, I will get the boss's plates and attention. I want you to kill the Colossus in the middle, and then we'll go from there, right? Instead of me doing anything about it. So, and I waste like so much ammo trying to kill this Colossus. I should have just pulled out the Thunderlord, right? But there we go. The plates are dead. I get the attention of the boss. My teammate shot the shoulder plates, so they have told the runners light or dark. My teammate somehow already has the boss's attention, so no, I'm just trying to get it back. I'm just spamming his chest piece. It's kind of on a timer. You can't really steal the boss's gaze. Oh, boss is rogue. This is what happens when you don't have the boss's attention. It goes rogue and just picks someone at random and starts attacking them. Here we are around this plate. Someone is making the safety plate as we speak. I'm just trying to keep the boss's attention for as long as possible before I go to the safety plate, because I don't want him to jump up on the plate and knock us off the ledge or anything like that. There's a wipe mechanic, and then run. Now, you don't have to stay on the plate the whole time during the wipe mechanic. You can get the buff, and as he's casting the spell, you can just run, because the buff will apply to you. For as long as you're on the plate, the buff will keep applying to you at like 15 seconds. So once that happens, then you can just run and move. And that's essentially the role of the boss gaze. Now let me go ahead, and there I was booped as I sniped him. because I'm trying to clear ads and do the boss, but I should really just stick with the boss. I like to put myself on that left platform where you've seen me in the beginning of the video. That way I have cover from the enemies in the middle. I hopefully have cover from the left if the people on the left are clearing ads on time, so on and so forth. I personally would recommend a well here too. Like I would say 3 wells. Like 3 wells are really, really good. If you're not going to use 3 wells, like the boss is going to jump up and smash on you and that's it. That's a wrap. Without wells, contest mode or not, you're probably going to die. So I would, and picking a plate to do DPS that's close to a ledge, it gives the boss a chance to kill you by knocking you off the map. Now we're going to go ahead and fast forward this to I'm going to show you the runner. All right. So the runners are on either side, and it's just like the other videos I've showed before. It's a countdown. I'm on dark side. The light side is worse. The dark side runner has it easier because his plates are bigger and blocks more ads. The light side is a little bit more open, but it's, as long as your light level is high enough, or if you need to run like healing grenades or something like that, or invis as a hunter and just not be looked at, you should be fine. So here we go. It's once again, this is the plate runner. I'm running, boom. I do plate number 1. I come back, get the buff. I look for plate number 2, which is not there. I jump over here. All right, here's plate number 2. I am actually on my hunter now. Go figure. And then I come over to plate number 3. And I light up the third plate. Upon lighting the third plate, I have heard either the call out for light or dark. I'm really hoping it's me. If they said light, let's see, is it? Perfect. So now we're going to explain the call out from the boss. When the boss's shoulder pads are broken, as long as Bungie's game is working as intended, sometimes it doesn't and you get bungeed. It is what it is because it is Bungie. He will give off the aura of light or dark, as you've seen earlier in the video. If they say it's light, that means the person running the dark plates needs to go to the source, which I've explained in my video, the first encounter video. They have to go to the source and grab the source from their side. I've been telling my teams, let's activate 3 plates before we make the safety plate. That way, we're not standing on the plate so long that the boss is slamming us 1, 2, 3 times. I think I'm going to start doing 4 plates instead. It's like activate 4 plates and then go make the safety plate, right? So they called out that it was light. That means we need protection from the light. So the dark runner needs to grab the dark buff, right? The dark source, flux of darkness, bring it to the light side of the map, to any of the nodes that are completed without the source, right? So this plate to my bottom left, I cannot use that as the safety plate. So I'm like, oh, DPS plate, boom, this is it. And then I shoot that node, and we have Light's Refuge in the bottom left. And as you can see, the timer won't go down. It's sitting at 14. And I just tell people, hey, to the safety plate, to the safety plate, don't get the revive. Don't stop for ammo. Just come to the safety plate. We don't want him going rogue. We don't want anyone dying. And I also recommending, you can use bubble if you want. I like to have thunder crashes for DPS. I just say, hey, drop a well. Where's my safety well? Right? A dedicated person to dropping a well on the safety plate is cool. Now, you don't have to use this mechanic if your runners are quick enough. And in contest mode, we did not even use this mechanic. We just ran the plates and we got good. So, we got so good that we rarely messed up our plates. And what I did with that was Icarus Dash, Transverse of Steps on my Warlock, and the Funnel Web for lightweight frame. I had as much mobility as I possibly could for this with like 29 resilience. I was running like a piece of paper. Very weak, but very fast. But that is how you make the safety plate. Now, if they would have said dark, my teammate on the light side would have grabbed the light buff from the source and would have ran across to my side, grabbed any one of my plates that are completed without the source, shot it, and made the safety plate. And then as the runners get to the end of their running, they would say, hey, left side is complete, right side is complete. Now, as I'm teaching people throughout the raid, I usually tell them, and we're going to talk about that beam of light in just a second. I usually tell them, as you're approaching your final plate on your side, call it out. That way, people will know, hey, DPS is about to start. The ad clearing people can start moving over to DPS plate. Whoever's dropping first can get there and drop it early. Don't wait to drop it, because as you're standing around waiting for this guy to fully go into DPS phase, you could be killed. There are ads around that you could be clearing, stuff like that, so on and so forth, right? So I try to get people to call out, hey, I'm coming up to my last plate, and then the other side's, hey, I'm coming up to my last plate, or I'm starting my last plate, and that gives everyone time to shift. Now, the people that are on the boss, they should try to shift towards the end of the gaze time, the hatred timer. Shift only at that time, right? Don't shift early. Try to shift late and be like, hey, I got the final gaze, which is now that I think about it, I'm going to start telling my people, call out that you have the final gaze, or hey, I'm taking the final gaze, you go to the plate, you go to DPS plate, and I'll be there in a minute, right? That's probably what I'm going to be doing going forward. So everyone gets the DPS plate once again. There's that beam of light. Now, the beam of light hitting him signifies that Odin has struck him down from the skies with... I can't even think of what it's called anymore, but Odin has struck him down, right? He's ready, he is weak, DPS him. So you're going to DPS him to death. Sometimes that animation will not happen, so you just shoot him. If he's immune at any point in time, he's not ready. If he's not immune, assume he is ready to be shot and killed, right? So that's all I have to say about that. That's pretty much it for the video. Once again, you can have one runner, you can have one person keeping the boss's attention at all times if you want, instead of two, and have that extra ad clearing support. You can use bubbles on the safety plate. I find bubbles to be intrusive, because if I want to stand at the back of the plate and not get bumped up by any of his abilities that bump me into the sky, I have to step into the bubble, and then I can't shoot the boss, right? I wander off to go... my voice crack. I've been recording 4 videos all at one time, and I haven't drank anything. I wander off to kill that Colossus, where, I should be by the plate. If this was contest mode, myself would have been on that plate, and, good luck everyone on that Colossus. Which includes me, because I would have to run by it. But that's it. That's the video. Once you get to the end, once again, I've seen people one phase the boss, but here's Final Stand. Final Stand is straightforward. He's gonna get angry. He is not in fine. He has a sliver of health. Oh, that is painful to witness. All right, now he's in Final Stand. So Final Stand kind of looks like this. My teammates are gonna shoot him and put him in. I'm like, get out of here, Colossus. Get out of here, Cabal. I really don't need to do this. I should have just turned around. Here's Final Stand. It's the same thing. Just hold your ground. Shoot him to death. It's very simple, very straightforward. I think the mechanics of this raid are relatively simple once you understand what you're doing. And I'm glad I could help you get there. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video, hit the thumb up button, share it with your friends. This is the raid guide for dummies. Once again, I like to show how each encounter works, how it flows. I don't like to just show one piece and talk about it. I let the whole thing play out. You can catch my live streams in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of my non-Destiny 2 content. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel going forward, so if you could hit the sub button, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want to catch some of my other content that is not Destiny, I'd greatly appreciate that too. I have a lot of fun playing and recording those games or streaming those games on Twitch. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.